the healers, we have to understand that we too need breaks. We too become people pleasers while trying to teach and train other people how not to do it, which is super ironic and crazy. Okay, we gotta find some good lights. Bonjour. Aloha. Meanwhile, all summer I've been in my Hawaiian bag. Nonetheless, so I am starting a new vlogging challenge. If you know anything about me or you are not new to my channel, then y'all already know how this go. When's this in her feelings? She started a new challenge, and challenges really be helping me. So, to get back into the swing of things, because let's clean the camera. Hold on. That's a lot better. So to get back into the swing of things, I have decided that I need to get back content creating. In order to do that, I've been editing videos. You guys probably going to see this probably next year. Who the hell knows? Y'all know I suck with editing, but my goal for this year is to get better with it. To get better with it. FunSize? Like, but then editor FunSize wouldn't have a job. Nonetheless, we're doing a new challenge. I don't want to put 30 days on it. We'll do a 7-day challenge just to start us off small, and then we'll progress to see how that goes. But as of right now, we're just in a mood. And I noticed that normally when I do my challenges to get myself out of a mood, by the end of the challenge, I feel so relieved, so accomplished, and then I can go back and watch my videos, because a lot of y'all feel like these videos be for y'all, but in all actuality, they're there for me, so I can hold myself accountable. So when I do feel like I'm backsliding, or for lack of words, I'm falling back into my old mindset and my intrusive thoughts are winning, I have these videos to remind me, we've been there, done that, won't go back, get your shit together. So, thank you, I appreciate you. And if you are learning anything on my journey, creating boundaries is not the hard part. Sticking to the boundaries, creating effective and, what's the word? I don't even know the word I want to use, but to create effective boundaries, you have to have consequences. And in order to create those consequences, you have to understand that you will be feeling guilty in the process of all of that. And I have other videos breaking down how to get over that guilt and shame. However, I find myself falling back into that slump. This is why I say I love having videos that can have me come back and self-reflect. Nonetheless, I'm also going to make sure I find a tripod somewhere around here, so I'll be able to get our videos without me holding my damn arm up. Because girl, you can tell you ain't doing it in a while, because mama is tired. You would think you ain't been bouncing this little baby. Okay? For well over a year now. But nonetheless, ain't even been working out. I did literally like 20 crunches the other day and was like, God, I miss this feeling. Ow. But anyways, today's lay. I don't really know what my challenge is going to be, but like I said, 7 days to make myself feel better. I normally do it with vlogging, and this is how we're going to do it. Right now, I feel like I just need to be my authentic self, and in order to be my authentic self, I have to let you guys know more about me. And I feel like we all started off such great, I won't say such great, but we started off great last year. And I just want to keep that momentum going, because I took a whole year off to get myself together. I want to say get myself together. I was planning a wedding, in case y'all didn't notice, and all the other stuff. But man, when I tell y'all, that was hectic as hell. Not even the planning part, but the fact that I felt like a lot of things that should have been a first for me were more so ripped from me. I'm going to talk about that in another video, and I'm going to label it story time. But yes, I felt like you can be happy and have gratitude, but in the same time, you can also be disappointed. So you can do two things at once. Two things can be possible at once. That's just that simple. I was very grateful, very blessed, but in the same token, I felt like, bruh, what the heck? I was disappointed by a lot of things. We'll talk about that in another one. However, right about now, I was in a slump because, believe it or not, when you've worked on yourself, like seriously worked on yourself, did the inner work, did the hard work to try to figure out exactly what the heart needed to provide a better system for your nervous system, for lack of words, it is very hurtful when somebody comes in and tell you you are over emotional, or maybe you need to stop sharing with them and being emotional and expressing yourself. First of all, what I've learned that it's not nagging. You're allowed to have an opinion. And if you were with someone that makes you feel like, oh, it's nagging, then that means that you may be dealing with somebody who's emotionally available. What I'm learning in my process is I keep attracting people who are emotionally unavailable, because my caregivers were emotionally unavailable. So during the self-awareness journey I am on, I am realizing that is why I trigger narcissists and people who are emotionally unavailable, because it feels like home to me. It feels like home to me. And that's why it's so hurtful, because I got on a self-love journey in 2021, and it really put my foot on my neck in 2023. So then I started really waking up, awakening myself. My third eye felt like it just needs to be here with me. Just get there. Going on a tangent, focus, fun size. Either way, we're here now. I feel like if you with somebody that's like that while you're creating your boundaries, your inner boundaries, your external boundaries, be mindful of these people who you're trying to build these new healthier relationships with, because there are going to be some people who are aiming to not to understand you, for one, who are aiming to be difficult on person. I'm sorry, I normally say a difficult person, but being a difficult person intentionally. Those are the ones that, if you look in previous videos, I also told y'all about how to avoid love bombers and how to ask questions when you were dating. And girl, I did all of that stuff, okay? All of that damn stuff, and still fell for something that felt like a love bomb narcissist. And then I had to do some deeper work and realize, child, you are attracting people who are emotionally unavailable. Y'all already know where I'm at with it. Self-awareness clicking in 101. However, I feel a lot better. I want to go eat me some Fruity Pebbles. Give y'all some more updates when I'm done. I just don't want it to get soggy. I pretty much feel like, yeah, there's a lot of things that I want to say. However, today's video is more so just going to be me announcing that I'm starting the journey. Me saying that you guys have a lot to stay tuned for in the next couple of days to keep y'all busy. And hopefully entertained. And hopefully, more importantly, you learn something from everything that I'm dropping to y'all asses. But the main thing that I really think that stuck with me today, that really bothered me and made me want to even do the challenge to help myself get out the slump, was being told that you express yourself too much. When you ask someone, am I nagging, or am I entitled to have an opinion, or am I allowed to have an opinion? And it's, no, you're nagging and you have an opinion, but you go past the scope of your opinion. Who the hell are you to tell someone that? First and foremost, for anyone who may have agreed with that statement, I want you to physically know that you are lacking boundaries. You are lacking boundaries. And then to have to go back and forth, be met with that kind of energy, and then you are hung up on. After expressing 2 days prior, each, day before yesterday and yesterday, hey, let's not hang up on one another. Let's figure out a healthier way that we can talk even when we're upset. Let's say, hey, I don't want to talk about this right now because we're going downhill. Is it possible we can talk later, or something of the sort? Just communicate so the other person doesn't feel like you are the root of the problem, and we know that it's us against the problem and not the problem against us. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know what I meant. You know what I'm saying. However, I love vlogging, bro. Boom. And that was another thing that I forgot. Another thing that definitely stuck out to me is being told that you are in your 30s, and if you want to get away from somebody or something, that you know how to get the F away from it, and etc., etc., etc. Which makes me feel like, so then when we are going back and forth and having conversations in reference to another person or individual, and I have literally uprooted and moved to a whole nother state, is that not me saying that I know what I want? I know what I'm doing? So how does the same person that says, well, you are in your 30s and know what to do if you want to uproot and get away from somebody? Just effing do it. It's like, where are we going with this? Like, seriously, truly, where are we going with this? I'm asking for a friend, the friend being me. I'm very curious to know, what are we doing with this information and where are we going? Because the more I feel like I am expressing myself, is being told that I am nagging, and it's very stressful. And it's like, is it stressful because you lack boundaries and how you don't know how to be emotionally available? It's not your fault. I've even told you that. I don't fault you for that, because secretly I understand that you may not have been taught that while growing up, and you should not fault yourself for that either. However, you can do the work if you want to. We can do this together if you're willing to. You said you were willing, so I don't know how today I am being told the next day after all of that you express yourself too damn much. You're nagging and it's stressful. What the hell are you doing? I understand it's your wife. I don't want to bother your migraine. Completely understandable. Either way, that was definitely something that stuck out to me. And then you say, well, you're going to the store, and it's like, well, I didn't need anything. Thanks. And did you forget that I also had plans when you decided that you were going to do all the other stuff? Some of these things bother me. I want you to be mindful of these things that I am telling you as my story, because my story is my story. My journey is my journey. However, be mindful of these things that are happening, because respectfully, well, this is me telling you, I too am lacking boundaries. I too am not effectively creating consequences, because no matter how I am creating those consequences, I clearly am not doing them right. because I can separate myself, and it will be taken as, well, you are using it to have space. I can say, well, this is disrespectful and a form of distrust, and it will be taken as, well, you do plenty of things that is distrust. I can sit over there and say, hey, this hurt my feelings. I don't really like when you do that, and it can be taken as, well, now you're just nagging, and if you don't like it, then there's plenty of things that you do that I do not like, so what do we do with this information? First of all, this is my definition, or more so examples of what I mean when I say you are dealing with a person who is choosing to be difficult. They're choosing to be difficult. But like I said, this isn't about you. This is about me. We're here to do some self-reflecting on ourselves. And respectfully, when you are being met with all of that while still raising a child, it can be very detrimental on your self-love journey. Okay? Very detrimental on your journey. However, this is why mental resilience is definitely significant. Having that mental stability to understand that not even you can get through anything. Nah. Don't even believe that saying that he won't put you through anything you can't handle. That is a lie. That is a lie. We're not even supposed to be handling the shit that we handling right now as God's children, respectfully. So please stop saying he will not put you through anything you can't handle. What you need to finish that off with is he will not put you through anything alone. Alone. Because he definitely gonna put you through it, baby. But he won't make sure you're not alone. That's what y'all need to start telling y'all kids. You don't need to. Take it with a grain of salt. Just saying. You came here to learn something. Go and take notes. However, that is something that I recently learned and wanted to share with y'all because, like I said, I'm creating boundaries, and I'm going to go back and self-reflect on this video probably like 3 months from now, 6 months from now, and I'm going to still be asking myself these same damn questions. What have you changed about yourself? What have you learned? And what did it teach you? However, when you were, like I said previously, dealing with someone who is intentionally choosing to be a difficult person while you are on that journey, and you are choosing for my target audience right now is the healers. As the healers, while we're trying to heal, we are falling in love with our goddamn clients. Don't. And if you already have, at the end of the day, that's because you're a healer. You're a lover. It is what it is. Now that you have the information, move forward with it. But like I said, as the healers, we have to understand that we too need breaks. We too become people pleasers while trying to teach and train other people how not to do it, which is super ironic and crazy. However, when you do self-awareness, have a coach, have therapy, have time for yourself, do the shadow work and make your friend. Life would be grand. I just wanted to say that, and I wanted to come back and add that as well, because that was something that really stuck with me and bothered me. And I'm learning on my self-love journey that, like, hey, I have boundaries. I'm speaking them to you, and although I love you, I should not be made out to feel like I'm a babysitter or the last to know, manipulated, emotionally manipulated on top of that, all because I genuinely just want to love you. And then when you think about it, for the people who are watching it and made it to this part of the video, ask the people around you, probably yourself too. I learned this too recently. When you sitting over there and cheering on that new couple, and you know their backstory and all of the bullshit that them other people be doing, what are you cheering for? Like, them having a new victim? Because that really stuck with me when I learned that. Like, damn. Like, that dude made that. Damn. Either way, I just wanted to get that off my chest. I feel a lot better. If y'all haven't noticed, I'm just gleaming. And this is part 3, but I'm probably going to edit it to make it part 2. But, just to let you know. But outside of that, I was very feeling some type of way. I keep going like this because I'm used to having my ring on my finger. And also, I'm in love with my nose done. However, I got that off my chest. Thank you guys for being a part of my little journey. And however, I'm going to chop up and edit this video. However, just be mindful. The main thing I want you to take away from this is just be mindful of the relationship you are creating, because although you are creating boundaries to make healthier relationships, it's not just all about saying no. It's also about saying yes to yourself and the things that you love. And dealing with someone who is intentionally aiming not to understand you, is intentionally aiming to be a difficult person, can be frustrating. But frustration stimulates from lack of not knowing information, honestly. Which can come from and stimulate from sadness. However, I'll break that down to another video. Just look up the emotional wheel on Google and you'll understand what I'm saying. I'm just going to leave y'all right there because now I just feel like I want to keep talking to y'all. And it's, like I said, it's just making me feel better. Started off super, super miserable. And now look at me. I feel like as soon as I put the camera on, I'll be like, we have people out here watching us, looking up to us. We are role models and influencers. We can't be sitting out here feeling this type of way. But then I've learned that if I don't, I'm really not truly being my authentic self, and that's why we're here now. So, long story short, like I said, that was really much what got me in my rut and made me feel like, what the hell? What the hell, Leonte? with Dolly Burton. Hope I can insert that part in this video. Anyways, I just wanted to say that, but I love how this lighting is just coming in right now. But yes, those are the things that definitely hurt my feelings. I will say, originally when I started the video, I said they stuck out with me the most. Obviously, they hurt my feelings if they stuck out with me the most. And more so, that's why I was in an uproar in the beginning of the video, because I was trying to figure out exactly how I wanted to word it, because I'm learning that although I want to be authentic, everything is not for the internet. But in the same token, I felt like if you have been following my journey, you have known what I've been going through to find love. And at this point, I'm just on, I feel like I need to start my own damn show on finding love, loving FunSize, or something like that. Like, I just, which is super hilarious, because like I said, I just got married. And the marriage life is, I would say, not what I expected. Definitely not what I expected. However, am I happy, blessed, flourishing? Yes. Do I feel like it's taking a lot of work and I need to do more self-work on myself? Hell to the yes. So to teach you to be patient. Hell to the yes. Especially when you have more than one. I'm a blended family of 6. So, more so, 8, if you count our fur babies. So yeah, blended family of 8. And meanwhile, I'm just over here trying to help y'all learn how to create boundaries, how to learn how to love yourself before trying to love somebody else. And in the same token, I'm still learning it myself, which is completely awesome to finally like say out loud, because now I feel like I'm actually moving in my true purpose. Because it's like, you know what? I tell my kids all the time, I do not have every answer, but I am going to do my best to help you find out the answer, as long as Google still exists. We can figure out fact or fake stuff, and we can do it together. However, I'm also teaching them to be vulnerable and express themselves without having consequences. And like I said, if I don't hold myself accountable or create these videos so I know for a fact that I can reflect back later on, then I know I'm helping people too. I don't know if my story gonna help somebody, but I wrote that in my book, The ABCs of Having Self-Boundaries. Make sure y'all check it out. And I personally feel like your story is literally going to help someone be, your story is going to be someone's survival guide. So I'm learning to just share my story with y'all. And I look awesome as well, in case y'all haven't seen any of the stuff that happened for my wedding. I'll probably insert a picture or something. Don't get me lying. I'm not gonna hold y'all up no more. I'm pretty much just winging it so I can make myself feel better, and you were tagging along. I'm just gonna leave it there. Later for now, guys. Remember, learn to love yourself before trying to love someone else, but more importantly, be you, do you, and be true. We switching our outros now, y'all. Later for now.